I know, December 20th, Star Wars, nope, Cats. You get Baxter and the gang from Casino Guitars, After Hours. Got Jonathan on my left, stage left, and I got Shawn over here on my right. Shawn's been with us, for a long time now, but we're going to keep torturing him and keeping him in the fold. Today we just want to talk about booking gigs and playing. We have a lot of guys that in the shop that are are musicians, a lot of professionals, a lot of just business folks and doctors and teachers, and just want to play guitar for joy. But a lot of people want to get into playing shows, and it's confusing. It's scary, right?
It's confusing.
It's very. We all come from different backgrounds and have different experiences with it. Jonathan is a current touring and gigging musician, a very active gigging musician. Shawn is a young and upcoming musician. He is gigging and touring some, but he's young and he's doing it a whole different way. I'm an old man. I don't tour anymore. But and I used to gig professionally in New York, and I used to book nightclubs and venues as well. So I have that sort of side, and we love to share our information. And you can yell at us if you disagree or agree, or thoughts and comments. We do want those. So we're gonna just start talking. And chime in as we're talking, because we will answer these comments in real time. That's not true because this is going to be edited. But we will. Well, unless there's a weird continuum time thing that we can do. So Jonathan, you're gigging a lot.
Yes.
How do you book your gigs?
Because you gig. They call me. I can't.
They do not do that. He's lying.
He's that good.
No, but seriously, John, you gig all the time.
I do.
All the time.
Yes.
Your wife doesn't know you.
Barely.
And you're still married.
It works out better that way.
And
it's a system. We got it going.
You're about to have kids, so you have to be careful for that.
Yeah.
So, good go. But how do you book gigs? Seriously.
I mean, it's for me. It's just a lot of emails. It's a lot of calls. It's a lot of going to places that I'd like to play. It's a lot of hanging out at places.
What do you mean going? You just go to the place you want to play and you hang out?
Yes. And I meet people. So when I meet, and it's a little easier if it's local places. It's a little harder when it's a place 3 hours away or stayed away or
because you book lots of shows at sort of theaters that are quite sometimes 8 hours away,
right.
From our regions.
Right.
You're further than Atlanta or in North Carolina.
And usually the way I go about that, because you can't just call a theater 8 hours away and say, hey, I'd like to come play a show, and they're like, hey, well, nobody will buy tickets, and you owe us all this money. And then so if you find, and my advantage was that we're playing in Nashville. I played as a sideman in a lot of these towns, so I knew musicians.
Okay.
So then I called those musicians and say, hey, I would really like to come open for you or do a show for you, or what can we do? That then you're sort of pulling from their followers. Those people like you on Facebook, they like you on Instagram.
Okay.
So after a while.
So you're saying that the internet matters?
Yes, a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
So have a social media presence is step one.
You have to.
Step two, don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
No, but that's cool though. So you actively go to these places. You have friends you've developed.
Yes.
You've been doing this for quite a while.
Long time.
You're young, but you've been doing this since you were a wee buck.
Yes.
I mean, you look much better. You're 75?
73.
You look great.
73.
Look at mint, my man.
I know he does.
Get it together.
But no, that's good advice. And I'm gonna pop some questions at you, man. I want to just tackle Shawn for a minute. Knee switch. So Shawn, what about you? So you're starting to form a new band right now.
Yes, I am.
You've played before, sort of shows in some local areas and whatnot, but you want to play some bigger places. What are your plans?
So
do you know anything?
As far as anything, yes, I know everything.
About
of
booking
course.
gigs.
Booking gigs, very little. I find that so far a big thing that is great is to just go to the place. I love going to bars, going to places like that.
That could be a problem.
But I'm yes. Going into bars though, and just saying, hey, I got a band. Here's some of our songs. This is kind of what we do, because I don't really know anybody outside of you.
Right.
Wonderful guys. You guys are the best.
Again, Shawn doesn't have many friends. Please help us.
It's very
For Hemp Collection, we've talked about before. Call him. Call the shop. He's like, hey, does Shawn want to hang out? Have coffee? Play soccer?
He needs hugs.
Anyway.
He's gonna get much human contact.
But what about the internet? Is there anything on the internet that can help you get gigs?
Yes, there's this big source on Facebook that not a whole lot of people know about. It's got a good following on it, but it's a DIY tour page. Now you have to be invited to this page, but
how does that happen?
So you usually have to know somebody. I knew a good friend of mine who played bass, and he invited me to the page, and it worked out pretty well, because I got accepted right away.
So again, call the shop and ask for Shawn to use him for this if you need to start booking shows.
Of course.
He'll accept you and friend you because he doesn't have friends. Continue.
Absolutely, I need friends. But yeah, and they basically what you do is you pull up like a map of like, let's say we're in North Carolina, right? And let's say that you've got a show all the way up in New York, but you want to hit a bunch of stops in between.
Sure.
You post up a map showing where the destination is in New York, and then from that, in this chat, people message you with places that they know that they can hook you up with, and you can open up for local bands there.
Smart.
So there's already a crowd. It's a wonderful thing. I've seen lots of
cool.
bands use it, and it's great. I mean, you'll be touring way faster than way back 70 years ago whenever you were touring.
Long time ago.
Now, is that geared towards a certain sort of genre or style, or is it wide open?
Absolutely not. From what I can tell, it's mostly like bands, some punk bands, but there's singer-songwriters who use it.
Cool.
Basically, anybody who needs a gig. I've seen rappers on there as well. I know that really this is more of like a musician type thing versus just like a certain style, from what I can tell.
Okay.
And as long as you've got pictures of you,
I thought you were making a really different point. I was like, no. But anyways, never mind. Let's continue.
Well, yeah. So, and let's say it's not a band, like, because I know you host open mics.
I do.
You do lots of solo gigs, which are not as good as your bands.
Absolutely not.
No,
it's
they're
just me.
And like sometimes,
Yeah.
but sometimes you do solo gigs. I was
do a
kidding
lot of
about that.
solo
They're really
gigs.
good. But you do solo gigs like where you're playing in front of no one,
Sure.
but you get paid the same amount.
And the way I split it up, and this could be totally wrong, and I really hope none of the places I do solo gigs are listening, but I look at those as money nights.
Right.
And the band stuff, I'm looking a little more like I can weight the value of them by, will new people hear me? Can I sell merch? Is this a market I want to be in? Is it a venue I just want to play because it's cool? I mean, because there's a fun, it's fun to play cool venues.
Well, just as a side note too, Jonathan Robinson, his
Yes.
Jonathan Robinson music and all that stuff. You just find him on the interwebs all over the place. But his genre is, I guess, sort of like it's not jam like Fish. It's like jam southern rock style with a little more rock and roll to it.
Right.
So he's out there touring. He just played a show with Eric Gales like not too long ago, which is really cool.
That was very cool.
That guy can play.
Yes, it can.
He's better than a lot of people out there.
True statement.
No, he's really good. But you are your book. He has a very cool style. So Jonathan's actually like making a pretty good living doing that. And we happen to be able to get him in the guitar shop every once in a while to hang out, and help us with guitars and things. But you complement that with your solo gigs though.
Yes.
And but you enjoy a lot of the I know you play at this place called the Wine Cellar regularly.
I love that
and that's
place.
That's like home.
Well, the other thing I find too is that the solo gigs open the market for me to book band gigs.
How so?
Well, if I do a solo gig, I've been going to Charlotte and playing different places solo.
Oh, okay.
So when people talk to me or they get a CD and I have a name and then a club asks, hey, well, how many people can you bring out? Oh, I can bring out 50 people because I've been doing a year's worth of acoustic gigs and I've built relationships.
No, he brought up a very good point. So I've done lots of touring and things and whatnot, but I'm going to talk about my side as a booker. I still book some stuff for the resorts around locally for these are different types of shows for sort of pre-sold crowds. But when I booked in New York, I booked at some nightclubs and I worked at a place called Shanae and I would help with some of that, and that was a great club. But then I got to help in some booking of other places too. And one of the big things is they're always going to ask you is how many people are you going to bring?
Your draw.
What is your draw? What is your, and I was like, no, we don't have to do that. We can book whoever we like. But then I learned really quickly, if there's no one in there, you can't pay the bartender, you can't pay the sound man, you can't pay the electricity. So when you're playing venues, you do have to be able to book. You have to be able to draw. I'm sorry.
Draw, yeah.
So there is a step up system. Don't go trying to go to the big theater in your town if you don't have a draw. At first you have to work your way up to that. And that is exactly how you did that. So you can come and you have to bring in a minimum of 15 people usually just to break even if they're up.
And I have actually said, I've messaged places that I knew I was premature messaging. And I opened the email with, thank you so much for reading this. I know that I cannot come headline here yet. But I would love for you to consider me if you need an opener for a local act.
That's
I would
a smart
love
way.
to come play. And I mean, a lot of times if I can break even on those things, I will just to
Get
get
your
in
foot
there.
in the door.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of that too, when I was booking, if you are every once in a while, if we heard an amazing artist, we're gonna book you.
Sure.
If it has to be spectacular. We know you're not gonna draw, but if you're amazing, I remember once I was sitting in the top of in sort of the green, not the green, but the office was up in the place where I booked, and I heard this guy singing, and I was like, I don't know what that is. It just drew me down like a fly to whatever they go to. But no, I don't mean to call you poop, sir. But no, it was just amazing. Like he's so acoustic, it sounded like Bob Dylan reincarnated. But then I realized like the words were extremely dirty and filthy. But then I was still mesmerized. His name, I'm gonna say his name was Cock Lorge. No, it was, and I ended up playing with him in the future too. Like he was on the Howard Stern show. Like he was like top 100 in like the Maxim Blender thing for a bit in the mid 2000s. But I heard, and like our club became like a focal point for him just because like, we all loved him,
right? And
we supported him. So like if you are really special and you're prepared to like go the extra mile and like embrace your art, like the bookers will notice it too.
They will.
It's not just numbers. It seems that way when you're trying to scratch in there and you're not doing it, but just be persistent and be really good in your sound check because that's what brought us down from the office.
Well, and you can find those people who will like champion your calls.
We championed that. He was weird. He had a glass eyeball.
Yeah.
He was a lawyer. He had this beautiful wife, these beautiful 2 kids, and he was singing these filthy songs without like. And it's totally not what I was into, but it was. I still.
But it's cool.
When I hear his melodies, it's and it was not a joke. It was real.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. That's where I was gonna say, like Jonathan was saying about the opening up messages, being very appreciative and stuff like that, and then having a good personality, a good attitude, and being kind will get you so far within those events, you know. And just my limited experience, I've noticed that if you walk up and you're the guy who is assuming like, of course I've got the show in the bag, it's not going to work too well, you know. I've seen guys get rejected because they come in with the wrong attitude, you know. No, Jonathan knows from Nashville.
Yeah, and if you look like, I mean, we all kind of look like your typical like card carrying musicians. Like this is kind of your musician now. Yeah. This is what I used to look like when I was younger, and with
Dad.
Son. No, but it's like oh my God, don't tell my wife. No, but it's like if you do look like this and you come into a place, like be respectful.
Absolutely.
Like if you say yes sir, yes ma'am, it blows people's minds because a lot of people booking are not the rocker dudes. They're business people that need to have a bottom line and like pay everyone that works there and
be nice to the staff.
Be nice to the bartenders.
The bartenders.
Yes.
I always, even when I'm playing like breweries and I get free drinks all night, I go out of my way to tip the bartender.
That's cute. And if your sound isn't even great, tell the sound man how great he did.
Yes, be nice to him.
Because that sound man, being a sound man is a thankless job.
Yes,
it's a thankless job. And like those guys work their tails off. And those guys, the best sound person I had was this young lady in New York, and she was unbelievable. Like, and she was like this fantastical, magical hippie that could mix like a thing, and like she. Coke bottle glasses on, but she's gorgeous. But she's the best mixer. Like, and like if you were appreciative to her, like in this like male dominated like field in particular, it was like she would just crush your sound.
Yes.
She was like, and she might level you up a bit, just like get the crowd going, because like they have limits. There's noise violation rules in New York and everything.
Sure.
But she'll ignore it. You know, just like be cool to the sound man, be cool to the staff, be cool to the doorman.
Yeah.
Because the doorman can take your money.
Yes.
Because like when somebody comes in and pays $10 a seat, he can put it in his pocket really easily. So be really cool to the doorman, because then he'll remember you, and then like tip him too if you need to, or just be cool to him.
Just be nice.
Kindness is key, nice. Absolutely.
It seems obvious, right?
It does, but I can't tell you, even in my limited experience, like I've been saying, you know, there's enough people that I've seen who come in with the worst attitude, and I'm like, you'll never get a show. They're acting like that, and they don't. You know, they complain about not having shows.
I think that's really true, and I think a lot of people do that. Not that I know everything about it, but I think people come in who are insecure and they don't really know what they're doing, and the way they overcompensate is they turn out kind of
a little bit cocky,
and it's off-putting. And don't lie. If you don't know something, most people in these places want to help you figure it out. So just don't lie about, oh, I've done this a million times. Just hey, how does this go? This is my first time doing it. You know what I mean? Just be honest.
Absolutely,
be nice.
yeah.
Don't say it's your first gig.
Right. Well, don't say it's your first gig, but just you know, hey, ask the question. Right.
I feel like for me, I lucked out having friends like you guys. You know, to come to call you guys friends.
You call us friends. That's weird.
To come to and kind of lead me through that. You know, to say, hey,
it's gonna be awkward.
Don't be that guy who comes in and he's just like, I'm asking for a show here.
Well, there's a fine line too. Like, and if hang out there a little bit. A little bit's the key word. Don't over hang out there.
No,
as a booker.
That is horrible. Yes.
And so I think what we sort of gathered is like there's a combination of like do your research, be good, but be personable too. Don't just live on the internet. That's a huge part of it. It's a huge part of it now. You have to have your stuff is like, it used to be like EPKs, like send out your electronic press kit. Like these people give us CDs here at the shop all the time. It's like, I don't even have a CD player. I don't even know what a CD. I have one in my car, I think, but it's a 12-year-old car. But just have that, but be kind. But go into the clubs, get to know people, and don't because they will champion you if they like you, until you prove them otherwise.
Right.
We've seen that too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it's a pretty simple, rudimentary thing.
But it takes a lot of time. You have to be stubborn and persistent.
Unless the gods above just
Yeah.
say, hey, guess what?
Right.
You're the next American Idol.
No, I mean, I've seen it happen, like when somebody's had like one gig and then they got a record deal. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it does
Yeah.
happen.
It does
happen.
It's not typical, but yeah.
That happened to like she played at the bitter end in New York on Bleecker Street, and then we all know the song, ding a ding ding a ding, but I'm not gonna say her name. That's all I need to do. MB. But I mean, it's like, she had a little more than that, but it was pretty quick. And
Right.
And then there's Gavin DeGraw. He's a great case.
Yes.
He was in New York City at the same time I was, but it was just he's like a pop star and like an R&B star. Like I remember, he used to play at this place up in the uptown, Upper East Side, I believe. It's all blurry to me now. And I remember he used to play. He had a residency there, which means you play there every week or every month, however much they schedule you. And he would ratchet up, and people just start going more and more. And then all of a sudden, it was sold out. And he had this great band. And then before you know it, he's got this record deal. And he disappeared for a year. He was gone. Then he comes out with his record that was like a huge hit. And he's like, "Hey, I'm famous now. And I can host TV shows, and I can make whatever record I want." He's
Open
like,
clubs.
My mom likes Gavin DeGraw. It's just weird to me. Like she saw him on like Fox News,
He's the best.
no, like on New Year's Eve or something. It's like that's weird because I remember all of us used to go and see him, and
Yeah. Because he was kind of like one of the crew, right?
yeah, he's a great dude, and he's a great musician. Way better than people realize. It's like Michael Bublé. Oh my god.
I used to play at his club in Nashville that he owned.
But Michael
doesn't
Bublé's?
that- No, at Gavin
Oh, the
DeGraw.
guy, I didn't know he had another club in Nashville.
Nashville.
Anyway,
Yeah.
do your research. Be good. Go to the places. Most importantly, be nice.
Yes.
Shawn, it was a pleasure stalking with you tonight.
Stalking.
Pleasure talking with you tonight.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Talking.
I appreciate it. Pleasure talking with you tonight,
Yes,
too.
sir.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Be sure to click subscribe and just give some comments. Let us know what you think. Give us your experiences because we're going to share it with the whole interweb world on your booking gig ideas and how it will help other folks getting in this world. Thank you so much for sharing music and sharing your time.